Brock Lesnar just dropped a list of the 5 toughest players he's ever gone up against, and honestly, the names on it are wild. You can almost feel the intensity just hearing it. So instead of dragging this out, let's jump straight into it and get started. 1. Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns have one of those rivalries that just feels bigger than the ring. It's the kind of feud where every stare down makes the arena go quiet, and every match feels like 2 freight trains smashing into each other. From the start, WWE didn't just present them as opponents. They were built as 2 unstoppable forces fighting to prove who really sits at the top of the company. Their heat began all the way back in 2015 when Roman won the Royal Rumble and set his sights on Brock's WWE Championship. Fans were already split on Roman at that time, and Brock was this dominant, almost mythical figure who barely spoke but destroyed everything in front of him. When they first faced off at WrestleMania 31, the atmosphere was electric because nobody knew who to root for, and nobody expected the match to be as brutal as it was. And then Seth Rollins cashed in and stole the moment, which meant the story between Brock and Roman wasn't even close to over. Every time they crossed paths after that, the tension grew. Brock didn't respect Roman. Roman didn't fear Brock. That dynamic made everything hit harder. Their promos were stiff, their matches were stiff, and the reactions were always loud, whether cheers, boos, or chaos. Fans loved to argue about it, and WWE leaned into that drama, using their rivalry as the main event scene for years. By the time WrestleMania 34 arrived, the heat was boiling. Brock was seen as part-time but dominant, while Roman was the guy WWE kept pushing as the top face. That mismatch created real-life frustration in fans, which only added more fuel. Their match was violent, bloody, and uncomfortable to watch at times. Brock opened Roman up badly, and the sight of Roman dripping with blood while refusing to stay down added a raw edge to the feud. Then came the biggest twist: Roman's rise as the tribal chief. Suddenly, he wasn't the underdog anymore. He was the ruthless ruler. That flipped the entire rivalry on its head. When Brock returned as a babyface in 2021, smiling and wearing flannel, fans ate it up. For the first time, Brock was the one chasing Roman. Their feud became more personal, more intense, and more dramatic, leading to massive matches at Crown Jewel, Day 1, and finally WrestleMania 38, where Roman cemented himself as the one man who truly conquered Brock Lesnar. 2. The Undertaker. The feud between Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker isn't just big, it's one of the most unforgettable rivalries in the entire history of WWE. Whenever these two faced each other, you could feel this heavy tension in the air, almost like everyone watching knew something dangerous was about to happen. Their rivalry wasn't built on flashy storylines or long speeches. It was built on aura, intimidation, and moments that shook the wrestling world. Their heat started way back in 2002, when Brock was still a rookie and Undertaker was already a legend. Even then, Brock beating Undertaker for the WWE Championship felt insane. Most young stars usually had to earn their way up slowly, but Lesnar was thrown straight into the deep end with the dead man. And he didn't just survive, he dominated. That instantly created real tension, because Lesnar walked into WWE acting like nothing scared him, not even The Undertaker. And Undertaker wasn't used to someone so young treating him like just another opponent. But the rivalry reached a whole different level in 2014, WrestleMania XXXX, the night everything changed. For over 2 decades, the streak was sacred. No one touched it. No one even came close to ending it. It was like Undertaker's legacy was wrapped around that undefeated record. So when Brock Lesnar hit that third F5 and the referee's hand hit the mat for the 3rd time, the entire world just stopped. The crowd didn't boo. They didn't cheer. They didn't chant. They were silent, shocked, confused, almost angry. And that's what made the heat between them so strong. Brock wasn't just another guy who beat Undertaker. He was the man who broke something fans thought was unbreakable. He ended something that felt untouchable. That alone created this massive cloud of tension that hung over WWE for years. They picked it back up in 2015, and this time the feud turned personal. Undertaker attacked Brock at Battleground, basically admitting he never got over what happened. Their SummerSlam match that year was pure chaos. Low blows, mind games, controversial finishes. By the time they met inside Hell in a Cell again, it felt like two warriors settling something that went way beyond wins and losses. 3. Kurt Angle. The rivalry between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle always felt different from anything else happening in WWE at the time. Most wrestling feuds rely on storylines, betrayals, or wild drama, but these two didn't need any of that. Their feud had real weight because both men were legitimate athletes, true amateur wrestling monsters. So every time they stepped into the ring together, it felt like a real competition. You weren't just watching two WWE stars. You were watching two world-class wrestlers trying to prove who was truly the best. Their tension started bubbling in 2002, not long after Brock debuted. He was the young, freakishly strong NCAA champion, fast-tracked straight into the spotlight. Angle, on the other hand, was an Olympic gold medalist with a resume no one could touch. The heat came from this simple idea. Who's the real alpha? Who's the real best wrestler in the company? And the amazing thing is, they both believed it. That made the rivalry feel real. Backstage, there was even a playful, but serious, competitive edge between them. They actually challenged each other to a legit wrestling match once, and the rumor is that Brock barely edged out the win. Stuff like that added fuel to their on-screen battles, because fans always sensed that these two weren't pretending. The intensity you saw in their faces, the way they grappled, the stiffness of their matches, it all came from a place of genuine pride and competition. Their feud officially exploded in 2003, leading to their classic WrestleMania 19 main event. The heat was already high, but that match took things to another level. Brock attempted the shooting star press, nearly broke his neck, and somehow still finished the match. The crowd was stunned, Angle was concerned, but kept the match going, and Brock powered through it. That moment didn't just show their chemistry, it showed the level of trust and respect between them, even in the middle of a fierce rivalry. After WrestleMania, things got even more intense. Angle turned heel, Brock turned face, and the roles flipped. Their battles on SmackDown were some of the best pure wrestling WWE has ever seen. Their Iron Man match in particular was a masterpiece, violent, competitive, and full of ego. Both guys treated every win like it meant everything. 4. John Cena. On one side you had Cena, the face of WWE, the company guy, the hero who always got back up. On the other side was Brock Lesnar, the beast who left WWE, conquered UFC, and came back even more dangerous than before. When Brock returned in 2012 and hit Cena with that first F5, you could feel the entire tone of WWE change instantly. This wasn't the playful Cena rivalries fans were used to. This was violent. This was physical. This was personal. Their heat kicked off the moment Brock busted Cena's mouth wide open during their very first brawl. It wasn't fake blood. It was real. Brock came in swinging for actual dominance, and Cena had to prove he wasn't just the poster boy, he was a fighter. That raw physicality took their feud to another level right away. Their match at Extreme Rules 2012 felt like you were watching someone get hit by a truck over and over again. Brock didn't just wrestle, he mauled. He suplexed, punched, elbowed, and controlled the entire match like it was a real fight. People were shocked seeing Cena get manhandled like that because he was always booked as almost superhuman. Brock changed that. Even though Cena walked out with the win, everyone could see it. Lesnar was something different, but the real explosion in their rivalry happened in 2014 at SummerSlam. That match still gets talked about today. Brock destroyed Cena completely, 16 German suplexes. Cena got almost no offense. Fans were stunned, laughing, yelling, confused. No one had ever seen Cena beaten like that. It wasn't a competitive match. It was a one-sided beating. And that's exactly what WWE wanted. Brock Lesnar as the most unstoppable force the company had ever seen. The heat after that was unreal. Cena fans felt angry. Brock fans felt powerful. And WWE suddenly had a monster who looked truly unbeatable. Their rematch at Night of Champions brought more intensity, with Rollins interfering and Cena trying desperately to survive. But the truth was simple. After facing Brock, even Cena didn't look invincible anymore. 5. Goldberg. The rivalry between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg is one of those rare WWE stories that had two totally different eras, one that fans try to forget, and another that blew the roof off arenas. What made their feud so intense is that both men were built the same way. Big, explosive, unstoppable powerhouses who weren't used to being beaten. When you put two guys like that together, the tension almost builds itself. Their first feud in 2004 had crazy potential. Both were freak athletes, both were dominant, and fans wanted a dream match. But everything around that WrestleMania XX showdown was messy. Everyone in the arena knew both men were leaving the company, so the crowd turned on them right away. The heat wasn't just storyline heat, it was real audience frustration. Fans booed, chanted, "You sold out," and heckled the entire match. Brock and Goldberg felt it too. You could tell by their body language that the energy threw them off. The match ended up slow, awkward, and disappointing, even with Austin there as the referee. When Austin stunned them both afterward, it felt like the only part fans actually enjoyed. For years, that match was seen as a flop. Fans joked about it, and both wrestlers seemed to move on. But then, out of nowhere, in 2016, Goldberg returned. And this time, everything clicked. The moment Goldberg appeared on Raw, the atmosphere was completely different. Fans were older, more nostalgic, and actually excited to see him. Brock looked genuinely annoyed, which made things feel even more real. Their promos were intense, and the heat wasn't negative anymore. It was electric. They were both much older, but somehow the rivalry felt fresher than ever. Then came Survivor Series 2016. Nobody expected what happened next. Goldberg beat Brock in 86 seconds. The arena exploded. Fans lost their minds. Even people who didn't love Goldberg were shocked because Brock never got squashed like that. That moment reignited their feud in a huge way. Their match at WrestleMania 33 was the complete opposite of their 2004 disaster. This time it was short, fast, explosive, and full of big moves. Just two monsters throwing bombs at each other. Suplexes, spears, jackhammers, F5s. The crowd was on fire for all of it. Brock finally got his win, but Goldberg walked out looking just as strong. And that's where we'll wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss anything new.